Hey, Fortified Hills, Pastor Josh here with an exciting update. It has been several weeks since we've been able to get together in this building for corporate worship. But as your pastors and staff have spent some time looking at the kind of relaxed guidelines and prayerfully considering how we might regather again together as a family of faith for corporate worship, we've come up with a plan for us to be able to start doing that, kind of phase one of our reopening on Sunday, June 7th. So Sunday, June 7th, we're hoping to be back together again in this building for corporate worship. Now, when we gather, it's not going to look exactly like it did in January. It's not going to look exactly like it did before this kind of pandemic started sweeping through. There's going to be several things that look really different. One of the things that's going to happen is we're going to have two different services. One of the things that we need to be able to make sure we can do is maintain some distance. So we've taken out some seats in our worship center. We've kind of spaced those out in different ways, and that's going to make us need to have two services so that everyone that can come, that wants to be able to come, is able to come. So we're going to have a 9 o'clock service and then a 10:45 service. And what we're going to do is on Monday, we're going to send out a link through email, through our social media accounts to let you sign up. We're going to ask that you pre-register for one of those services. We might just make sure that we know how many people are going to be in them. That's going to help us with all the logistics that go with that. It's also going to help to make sure that we maintain the appropriate numbers that we need to maintain, that we can still keep some space as we gather again. So that's June 7th. We'll have a 9 o'clock service and a 10:45 service in our building. We're asking that you pre-register when that link comes out to you on Monday. Now, maybe you're sitting there thinking okay, I love that. I want to be together with the body, but I'm just not sure. I'm still not really comfortable with being around people. I got some health issues or concerns as well. That's totally fine. I'm not here to bind anyone's conscience. We're going to continue to live stream our 10:45 service just like we have the last several weeks. We're going to continue to live stream that for the next several weeks. We'll keep going on that. So if you want to stay home, if you need to stay home, we'll continue to live stream our service at 10:45, just like we have been the last several weeks. Now, if you do join with us on June 7th, there's going to be several things that look really different to you. As we gather, we're going to need to have some kind of health precautions in place. And so there's several things that you'll notice. One, there's going to be really one entrance for you to come into. So you'll come into our just kind of normal front entrance. When you come in there, we're going to have some people that are ready, some volunteers that are ready to help seat you with your family in the worship center. And so we'll have some people kind of directing you on where to go. We're not going to have any childcare, no kids activities, and so family units are going to be sitting together. And we'll make sure that you're appropriately spaced as you sit together. So we'll come in, we'll have some people that are helping direct you to make sure that we're keeping distance like we need to. We're also going to have parts of the building that are closed. So we're really just going to ask that you come straight in the doors and walk into the worship center together. We're going to have some hand sanitizing stations that will be available. We won't have our coffee bar. Sorry about that, but we won't have that at this time. Our offering will be done a little bit differently. We're going to have some baskets at the back of the worship center. So at the end, when you're leaving, you can drop an offering off that way. You can still do online or through our app, but that's kind of, if you want to physically do that, we'll have that kind of in the back so we're not passing plates. We're going to try to maintain 6 feet of distance between each other. I know one of the questions that comes up when we're thinking about the different kind of protocols in place for COVID-19 is, well, what about masks? And here's the deal. We're going to have masks be optional, but we are recommending them. I think it can be one way that we just love one another really well, maybe go the extra mile to show how we're caring for other people in the different situations that they might be in that we might even be unaware of. We want to create a space that is most comfortable for the most people that want to be a part of this worship together, and that's one way that we can do that. So masks are optional, but we are recommending them. In fact, our volunteers that are kind of helping to usher and to seat people and those kind of things, they're going to be wearing one as well. Just because at the end of the day, really what we're doing as a church is a little bit different than other places. We're actually gathering in this place to gather together. We want to see each other. We're gathering in this place to sit in one room for a while and do some stuff like singing. There's some added issues there. And so wearing a mask might be a helpful way for us to do that. Maintaining distance is a helpful way for us to do that in a way that still cares well for one another. We want to be a church that loves each other well. And that means might die to self at some places. And that we might love our brother or sister in Christ really well. So we're going to just call and ask you guys to do that. Let's be patient with one another, humble with one another. Let's bear with one another in love. And let's be, as Paul says, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit and the bond of peace as we come back together and worship. as we come back together and sing, as we come back together and pray, as we come back together under the preached word. So we're looking forward to being able to do that June 7th. So you'll notice some differences. You'll also notice some differences really just on our campus. It's been really cool. So as we've been scattered, the ministry has not stopped. In fact, you'll notice some visually, some things that have been happening here on our campus. So we have a parking lot that's been fixed. We have some, you'll probably notice on our live stream, our stage looks a little bit different. It's going to be really helpful for us as we continue on with video and some other things that we're looking to do. And the amazing thing to me is that we've had some church members really just give of their time, give of their money, and do some of these things in our building that we needed to get done, while at the same time saving us thousands of dollars on our budget. So it's been really incredible to see the body still at work. So those are some things that you'll notice when we come back together that look a little bit different. One of the things that will be the same, though, is we're going to make a giant deal about Jesus together. We're going to sing, we're going to pray, we're going to sit under the word, and we're going to glorify Christ as our great King and Redeemer. And church, I cannot wait to do that with you and to see you face to face as we do it. So if your conscience allows and you're able to, join with us on Sunday, June 7th, either our 9 o'clock or 10:45 service. Can't wait to see you.